Thank you very much, Simon. The Democratic Alliance has laid charges of corruption against Environmental Affairs Minister Nomvula Mokonyane for her alleged role in state capture. Former Bosasa Executive Angelo Agrizzi, of course, testifying that she received monthly contributions and the motivation behind that seemingly to receive more business from the ANC and the state. Well, the DA's second deputy federal chair, Natasha Mazzone, laid those charges. She joins us via Skype from Cape Town. Ms. Mazzone, thank you for being with us. Many people are shocked. Many people do want prosecutions. They want people to go to jail ultimately. But at the same time, many might think that this is the DA jumping on this for a lot of publicity once more.
Well, Francis, I think the time for cheap politicking is long gone. State capture is a very real thing in our country, and it's caused a great deal of suffering and a great deal of pain in our country. The fact of the matter is Nomvula Mokonyane is a sitting minister. She's a sitting member of the executive, and it is of the utmost importance that we lay these charges today because she is a public representative as we speak. She represents 54 million South Africans in Parliament, and we simply cannot allow members of Parliament and certainly ministers in the executive to be tainted by these very, very serious accusations of corruption. We've also heard that Minister Mokonyane received money for ANC rallies and for election purposes, and we cannot allow for this kind of behavior to be condoned, and that's why we have approached SABC, and I laid the charges this morning so that we can make sure that going forward into this election, people know that they will be held accountable if money for elections is received via illicit channels.
The ANC says this is a testimony of one person and it is untested. So how can they suspend somebody on that basis?
This isn't the first time that these kind of allegations have arisen. I may add this is the same ANC who for months years, never mind months, has told us that state capture was a figment of our imagination. And when we spoke about it in Parliament, we were also told we were trying to score cheap political points. We now know this to be a very real issue. We know that Minister Mokonyane has been implicated in more than one of these particular instances. And it is a high time that the ANC put their money where their mouth is and restore some kind of confidence in the South African public, show that they are serious about rooting out corruption, and certainly suspend and investigate one of their own executive immediately.
Couldn't this be turned back on your own party? The outgoing mayor of Tshwane, Mzimanga, has been accused of corruption even. Are you suspending him and investigating him?
He was accused by the city manager of the city of Tshwane. He has opened himself up for any and every investigation that they would like to levy against him. They are welcome to investigate Solly Mzimanga. He has made himself available. There's nothing more he can do than make himself available for these investigations. No hard evidence brought against him.
The DA is not suspending him based on claims. You're saying the ANC should suspend Nomvula Mokonyane based on claims.
They're not just claims, Francis. What we have at the Commission and at the Zondo Commission are more than just claims. There is evidence that we go on. There is the protection of and prevention of and protection of Combating Corrupt Activities Act that we have gone on. This is a completely different set of circumstance, and I don't think that you're comparing apples with apples. Solly Mzimanga has made himself available for every and any investigation that is required.
All right. Can we talk very quickly about the controversial elections poster reports today suggesting that you're keeping up the posters naming victims of Life Esidimeni and other tragedies? Does that mean for now, does that mean that you're keeping your options open?
Well, I think Solly Mzimanga himself today made it very clear that that board is a commemorative board honouring the names of many South Africans who died a very unnecessary death under the hands of the ANC. It is a board honouring South Africans who have lost their lives, and that is why that board is staying up. That board is there to honour people who have lost their lives, and certainly I am in full agreement with Solly Mzimanga that board is there as a commemorative board, and that the names of the people who lost their lives so unnecessarily must never be forgotten.
But we know that some of the families don't feel that way. Shouldn't you be responsive to what they're saying?
Well, Francis, none of the names that are on that board weren't already in the public domain and already out in the open. We have chosen to put their names on that board to honour their lives and their lives that they were lost so unnecessarily. And I think that it's paying homage to South Africans who have so desperately lost their lives in such tragic circumstance.
Today, I think, or this week, revealing another poster saying keep the ANC and EFF out of government in the Western Cape. It does seem like you're going for very negative campaigning ahead of elections. But regarding the first poster, shouldn't you be responsive, maybe even your own base? Isn't there the danger that they could think that you're going too far into that negativity?
Francis, I don't think that the DA is negatively campaigning. I think that we're pointing out the harsh reality that is the ANC is responsible for the deaths of many South Africans. That is the harsh reality of it. That's not negative campaigning. That's simply telling the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. And in the case of the ANC, of course, they are terribly upset that we've pointed out what is a very harsh truth for them to swallow and for them to be held accountable for. They don't want to be held accountable for the deaths, even though it was their government that has failed the people of South Africa. When it comes to the Western Cape, certainly...
My question is, aren't you worried this will hurt the DA itself?
No, I'm not worried, Francis. I think that the South African public is mature enough to understand that these are harsh realities. It is not negative campaigning. It's simply illustrating shortcomings of the ANC. And it is simply illustrating a point that the Democratic Alliance, a vote for the DA, ensures that you do not get an ANC or an EFF government.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That was the DA's second Deputy Federal Chair, Natasha Mazzone.